I went on a single-handed trip recently, a hellish 8-hour odyssey that took me all the way from London to Les Sables d'Olonne, start and finish point of the Vendee Globe yacht race.
This issue of the race will make it as known at the America's Cup and as known as the Volvo Ocean Race.
For this is indeed the Everest of single-handed yacht racing, an event that's been running every 4 years since 1989, where high-powered 60-foot yachts battle against each other and the elements.
Well, you go as fast as you can, but without braking. I mean, obviously you could go out and break the boat quite easily.
It is more about keeping the boat together to get to the end than it is about pushing really hard, because there is an element with these boats where you could push too hard and then cause a breakage, which is then going to set you back.
Remarkably, in these straight-end economic times, the number of boats in this year's race has risen to 30, with 20 brand new boats, compared to a total of 20 for the 2004 edition. With a campaign costing up to $15 million, it's no surprise the yachts resemble floating billboards, albeit cheaper billboards than some you might find.
We've once done a 14-day campaign in the centre of London with billboard advertising, and it was quite a big campaign. It ran for 2 weeks, and it was exactly the same budget as we pay now for a year, the sponsoring of the sailing room.
Crucial to giving sponsors exposure and keeping fans up to date are the daily video feeds provided by the boats, from fixed onboard cameras and the skippers themselves.
He was 80 or 90 ahead. I managed to reel him back in. He's now 5 miles in front of me.
And some pretty vicious sea out there.
If you want the public to really follow the race, then you have to provide that. Otherwise, it's just an empty nutshell. You just have people starting from the Sables d'Olonne and coming back to the Sables d'Olonne.
But surely, as the race gets ever more popular with sailors, sponsors and spectators alike, it's time to move to a more prestigious location, rather than the somewhat remote Les Sables d'Olonne.
Your question is so incredible that I'm not sure that I will answer the question. Well, I will answer the question. No doubt the answer is no.
Which I guess answers that question. But here's another. Just what sort of creature comforts do you get on these boats? Well, if you thought that sailing 27,000 nautical miles around the world single-handedly was glamorous, this might change your mind, because these are basically the living quarters. As you can see, pretty Spartan. Over here, there's a little stove, not an awful lot here, gas burner. Over here, there's a sink. Absolutely no bathroom, of course, and if you do want to get any sleep, you'll be doing it on this. And I have to say, you wouldn't want to be very tall, because it's pretty tight. 99. Although once a race like this gets underway, there isn't an awful lot of time for sleeping.
In a 24-hour period, you'll get around 5.5 hours sleep on average.
10 minutes, 20 minutes. A long sleep for me when I'm offshore is an hour.
Till now, the Vendee has always been won by a Frenchman, and they make up 17 of this year's entrants. But whatever your nationality, it seems the winner will have mastered one particular skill.
It's the person that makes the least mistakes.
The reality is it's the guy that makes the least mistakes that's going to be winning.
Although given that over the Vendee's history, 40% of the entrants have failed to complete the event and 2 sailors have died, in this grueling race, just reaching the finish must be considered a victory in itself.